Thank you very much. I am 71 years old from the insurrection capital of America, Washington, D.C. You know, in D.C., most of the quarantine restrictions are off, but I got to tell you, I still don't know what day it is. Last Monday, I got up, I got dressed for church, and then I remembered I don't go to church on Monday morning. I'm Jewish. I don't go to church at all. My adult kids actually benefited from the pandemic. It gave them a great excuse for why I couldn't come visit. Mom, Dad, it's a pandemic. You really got to socially distance. Oh, come on, kids. Why can't we come down and visit you? You live in our basement. Jews and misery, Jews and misery. We go together throughout our history. We just love being dour. We get sadder by the hour. And really, can you blame us? We have been vilified throughout history for things that we don't control and things that we didn't do. Chuck, we don't control Hollywood. We don't control the banks. And God Almighty, we did not sink the Titanic. That was an iceberg, not a Goldberg. No relation. We also are miserable because we'd like to be allies, but we're always making the wrong decisions. I would really like to support African American businesses, but do you have any idea how difficult it is to find a kosher pulled pork on a bagel? Mm. And we're also, the real reason we're miserable, now, if Dr. Abby was here, she'd be able to testify, is because we all have Jewish mothers that are never satisfied. I told my mom, when I told my mom I got into law school, you would have thought I told her I'd become a Christian. Mark, I never thought a child of mine would become one of those. You know, dear, it's not too late for you to go to dental school. Yeah, it is, Mom. It definitely is. And this generation is just as miserable. Last week, my niece, Mitzi, she came up and says, Uncle Mark, I am so miserable. My husband, Irving, he gets me whatever I want, but he just won't let me be me. I really ought to divorce him, but then who could I blame for being miserable? Jews have such a long history of being miserable. It makes me wonder, if you're not miserable, can you truly be Jewish? Think about it. Moses, famously miserable. Rodney Dangerfield made a career out of being miserable. And I became gluten-free because keeping kosher didn't make me miserable enough. But don't think for a minute, Tim, that all Jews are the same. We can't agree on anything. In fact, if you want to get 3 opinions, ask 2 Jews. If you want to get 5 opinions, ask a rabbi. One thing we can agree on is we all love our grandchildren. And being a grandparent is so much better than being a parent. As a parent, I was worried 24/7 about my kids, that I'd end up with a hot mess as they grew up. As a parent, I get my granddaughter 2, maybe 3 hours at a time. And the worst thing I ever get is a dirty diaper. And besides, when the grandkids screw up, no one ever blames the grandparents. Well, except for the parents. One of my favorite activities with my granddaughter is to do nursery rhymes, but nursery rhymes my way. Yeah, so the lawyer's version of Jack and Jill. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown. So Jill hired a lawyer The government stepped in, and the hill they fenced in, and now OSHA controls our water. On the rare occasion when she won't eat, we do Humpty Dumpty. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. And all the king's horses and all the king's men had omelets and scrambled eggs for days on end. This one she taught me from her preschool. Bring around the rosy, pocket full of posy, mask it, vax it, there's way too many caskets. I think it's important that she know geography, so we do London bridges. London bridges falling down, falling down, falling down. London bridges falling down, that's why they moved it to Arizona. Lake Havasu to be precise. Her favorite is Ba Ba Black Sheep, which I think is way too racist, so we've changed it. Ba Ba African American sheep, have you any wool? Yo, 3 bags full. I got one for the Costco, one for the Target, and one for the little kid that wears only natural fibers. My personal favorite, though, is Mary Had a Little Lamb. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. Mary had a little lamb, its fleece was white as snow. And everywhere that Mary went, Mary went, Mary went. And everywhere that Mary went, she smelled like mutton. And lamb chops and knit jelly. Hey, look, I don't care how much kale you eat and how much you exercise. You're still going to get old and decrepit. You only got 2 choices in this life. Either die young or live long and fester. I'm Mark Kalchik. If you're ever in DC, come to a comedy walk. Thank you.
All right, let's hear it for Mark Kalchik. Hey, you weren't here last week either. You went to a baseball game instead of doing the oldie mic, if I recall correctly.
No, actually, I have a men's support group that meets once a month, and that was our first live meeting in 18 months.
Oh, okay. So tell us, you're married, right? And been married for a long time?
I've been married since 1973 with the same girl since 1969.
So that's 40, what is that, 48 years of marriage? Is that right?
I'm a lawyer. I don't do math.
Well, that's not true because you bill by the hour.
Yeah, but you know,
or any fraction thereof.
There you go. Mr. Smith, I see you're at the pearly gates. How come you're only 39? With the number of hours you billed, you should have been 107.
You're gonna pull out all the lawyer jokes, huh?
Not tonight. Not tonight.
All right, let's do